What's up, guys? Welcome back to Whatcha, Playin, the podcast with me, James, talking about what you've been playing, what I've been playing, what you've been playing. First of all, a big shout out to the podcast producers that are Ryan, Viera, and Mr. Casual. If you want to become a podcast producer yourself, obviously click that join button and subscribe at the podcast producer level. All the proceeds go to the making of and upkeep of these podcasts. So thank you to you two for doing that, and hopefully we can get a couple more people to support the content as well. So this week I've been playing a bit of Shredder's GT7, and that's pretty much it. A light gaming week for me, but I'm also going to do my Guardians of the Galaxy review as well. So what have I been playing this week? I played a little bit more of Shredder's, which is the simulation snowboarding game that I've been just having a lot of fun with. I think I've only played like 1 hour more of it. I did look at How Long to Beat, which is a website that you can put your own information in, like how long did you play it? Did you 100% it? Did you just mainline story? Have you like not completed it? Have you like left it in your backlog? All that kind of stuff. And obviously you can go there to see how long each game takes to beat, if that makes sense. And it seems like Shredder's, the main storyline is about 3.5 hours, and I've probably played around 2.5, so I haven't got long to play left of that. So hopefully over the weekend I will complete it, and then maybe next week I do a Shredder's review as well. But we'll see how this week's review goes on Guardians of the Galaxy first. So I had a lot of fun with that. I think I streamed that on YouTube for an hour, and it was nice and relaxed. I'm so shocked that it didn't get copyrighted because of all the music that's in it, but who knows, maybe they have like live stream friendly music in there, but it still bangs. So really enjoyed playing that, and it was nice to see a positive feedback from you guys as well, because I've been playing racing games on this channel for the longest time, but because of master's studies, real life work, all that kind of stuff, my ability to play as much games as I used to has shrunk. So I'm just going to play every single type of game on this channel, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And doing these podcasts as well is something different, but I'm going to stick with it and just have fun with it. So it was nice to see some positive feedback from you guys who seem to really enjoy the different content, and we'll definitely be continuing that in the future. So there we go, Shredders. Having a lot of fun with it. On to GT7. I've been doing a little bit of drifting. Obviously, shout out to Tyrannosaurus Rex, who is an absolute fiend at drifting. I stole one of his setups for a Nissan car. I can't remember what car it is, but then spent probably an hour and a half drifting over the week. Did some at Suzuka, did some at Suzuka. Oh, there was one other. Can't remember. But I had a lot of fun with it. It's really funny when you go from drifting to then back to racing. It handles completely different. But drifting's, I feel, is very similar to hot lapping. It's like, I just want to get a little bit more angle on that slide. I want to get my front wheels a little bit closer to the apex, or my rear wheels closer to the outside of the turn. And then obviously linking up different corners. There's a real good feeling to it. So I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. Maybe try to do that like once a week or something, just have a bit of fun with it. But I also did a couple of dailies. Didn't do any of the manufacturers. It just didn't work out time-wise with work and stuff. But did a couple of dailies. Had some fun. Did a couple more of the cafe missions. I think I'm on like the high 30s now. And I think there's 40 cafe menu booklets total. So I do want to finish that before I do my Gran Turismo 7 review. But again, had a lot of fun with it. But to be honest, I'm just like feeling like I've played so much of it. I've played so much of Gran Turismo Sport that I just enjoy playing other games. I will never not play it. I will dip in and out of it each week. But I don't think I'll ever play as much as I did in the past. But coming back and doing the different dailies, and I think I'll be more selective with like what manufacturers or what nations race I do. I'll be like, oh, next Thursday, that seems like a really fun combo, so I'll try and plan out some time where I can jump in and have some fun with it. I think that's probably what I'm going to do in the future in terms of Gran Turismo 7, but having a lot of fun with it. It's so good to see the community still pumping out big numbers. Rory, Key, Ollie's dipping his toes back into it as well, so it's good to see those guys hitting big numbers and having fun with it as well. Okay then, my first game review. I'm also going to do game reviews on an app called GG. I'll put the link in the description as well. It's just a place where you can sort of, if you have a profile and you can go and you can get games that you've played or that you've completed or whatever. It's a lot like How Long to Beat, but you can also give them reviews as well. So my profile on there, I've just done a quick Guardians review on there, so I'll put the link in the description, and if you want to click that and go follow over there to see what I'm playing and what I think of games with text instead of voice, then you can as well. But here we go. Obviously bear with me, it's my first review, so I might be talking all over the place. But what I want to do is to take this company called Kinda Funny. I've talked about it before on my channel, and what they did, they came up with a review scale themselves, and it's a 5-point scale, but it's not really like a 8 out of 10, 5 out of 10 kind of thing. It's sort of based on a word. So 1 is bad, 2 is okay, 3 is fine, 4 is great, and 5 is amazing. Now, if I give a 5 to a game, that doesn't mean it's a 10 out of 10 perfect game, but it does mean it's an amazing game. So, with that out of the way, obviously I've stolen it from them. Go and check out Kinda Funny content. It's awesome. I love those guys. They're just incredibly talented at what they do. But here we go. Here's my review on Guardians, or Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. I played it on Xbox Series X, so a pretty powerful console, and I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I think it's a great game. I don't think it's perfect. I'll get the bad stuff out of the way first. There was some awkward character moments, like right at the end. Spoilers, when you defeat the game and you do the final battle, all that kind of stuff. There's like this weird walk of all of the characters walking towards the camera, and it goes on for like a couple of minutes, and it's just weird. It was weird to me. There was cool moments in it where you're like going past characters that you've met in the game, but it just felt a little bit weird, and there's numerous moments throughout the game that is just have those weird little moments. The second thing that is not up to perfect score in this game is there was some bugs. There was some like big frame rate drops as well, like where there would be a lot of stuff going on the screen. It would like chug the Xbox, and this is an Xbox Series X, so I wasn't expecting that at all. It does happen a couple of times when I play shredders as well, but staying on this game, it does chug a little bit, and I think twice out of the whole game. So in 15 and a half hours I had to reset the game twice, so that's not too bad, but in this day and age you would rather not have that. The second thing was some bugs and some glitches. It was mainly with audio. I'd be talking to a character, and then I'd walk off, and then it would just cut out, and then I'd walk back closer, and then the conversation would start again. So it's not like the conversation kept going after I left. It would like restart when I got in earshot again. And the biggest one for me, the biggest issue, was in some cutscenes, which was like very pivotal to the story. The audio would just cut out, and then I'd just be staring at a image on the screen, like the VOD is playing, but there's no audio, so I'm missing like key audio pieces in the story. And one of these moments happened like pretty late on in the game, and that was really frustrating, and I like turned off the game and I reset to see if it wasn't a glitch that way, but again it just didn't do it, and I missed all the audio, so that was kind of a real big bummer. But those are the two things that I have issues with in the game. In terms of the storyline, I thought it was really good. Okay, one more thing. It could have been a little bit shorter. I felt like they dragged out a little bit, like, oh, we're going to here, we could finish this, oh, but we'll go in a different direction. And yes, there was a little bit more story there to fledge out a couple more of the characters, but it felt like they were just prolonging the end of the game in some moments. So maybe a little bit more tightening up would have been perfect. Maybe bring it down to like a 12-hour playthrough instead of the average 14, 15, 16 hour. But I think the story was really captivating. I did like the ability to choose some dialogue and choose some moments in the game, which I do believe, obviously I haven't played through it twice or three times, but I do believe that if you make some decisions, it does affect what happens in the future. Whether you convince one of the main characters to do a certain thing. If you didn't do that, what else would have happened? You don't know. Or there's a moment in the story where you go to this character who collects monsters, and to get her attention, you either have to offer up Groot or offer up Ratchet as like the monster, and you can choose which one you offer up, basically. So I think if you choose one time, I think the story would go in a different direction another time. So I think that's really cool. I always like games that do react to decisions that you make. It makes you feel like you're part of the game a little bit more, which is awesome. But yeah, just to finish on the storyline, I thought it was a really good story. And I did want to see how it ended. I played it over a couple of days, and I would play an hour or two, and then I'd go away and I'd be thinking about it until I played it again next. Like, how are they going to do it? Like, what direction are they going to take it in? So I think it's really cool. Gameplay wise, I think it's also pretty intuitive. You are in control of Peter Quill, so you have his guns and his abilities, but you're also in charge of what the other Guardians do as well. You have all of their superpowers, I guess you can call them, or special abilities that you just hold down a button and then you select, like on a wheel, of who you want to do what, and then they have 3 or 4 abilities to do as well. So in the heat of battle, that helps out a lot, and it's kind of cool that you get to play as those characters without actually playing as those characters. So I think that's pretty cool. You do get sort of stuck to like, Drax's jump up and smash down ability is pretty good, so that's all I'm going to use with him. So the other 3 abilities kind of get swept under the table. But having the ability to choose what you want to do in those moments is pretty fun. I think the music is awesome. Obviously they use classic rock music from our planet. So I think it's really cool. It hits at the right moments. It's pretty epic. Even when you do these little huddle moments where you fill a bar up, you get the team in to huddle, and it gives you a choice of 2 dialogues. If you choose the right one, then everyone gets like amped up and you can use their abilities faster. And then after you come out, there's like one of these songs like blasting over, and like the hype levels increase. So I do think it's a little bit cheesy, but it's also just a lot of fun, and I think that's what they're aiming for. And bouncing off of that is the comedy. It's there. I think it's so hard to do comedy in games because you don't know what your audience is. Like, my sense of humor is going to be different from your sense of humor, and jokes might hit for me and miss for you, or vice versa. So I think they did a really good job of just being very comedic throughout, and the jokes hit, and the characters were close enough to the characters that were in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies that it seemed very real for them to act in the way that they did. And that's about it, really. Once again, 4 out of 5. Great game. Not perfect. but you should definitely check it out. It's on Xbox Game Pass right now, so you should definitely go give it a play if you can. I know it's on other platforms as well, but definitely go check it out if you can. And that's it. I just want to jump into the comment section of last week's Whatcha Playin. We have this is a name, Viera Marhan Kunis. Sorry if I butchered your name. They go, well, for me, mostly playing mobile games, Apex Legends Mobile, Real Racing 3, and probably some nostalgic old PSP games. Initial D Street Stage, Tekken 6, SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, GT PSP, etc. And some PS1 games, Gran Turismo 2, Tekken 3, One Piece, Grand Battle 2. Damn, that's a lot of games. Also, Simple Boy says, just GT7, but not online yet. Just missions, circuit experience, and Tokyo with the Tomahawk for 825,000 credits, which takes 19 minutes. Dang. There you go. Those are the two people who wrote in. So if you want to write in as well, let me know what you've been playing. And, if you're cool enough, I'll say it next week. But that's going to be it for today. Just played a couple of games. Hopefully next week I will have completed Shredders, so I can do a little Shredders review. Played a little bit more of Weird West as well. I haven't played that this week, so hopefully I can get back to that and talk about that a little bit more next week. But that's going to be it. Thank you again to the podcast producers, Ryan Viera and Mr. Casual. And that's going to be it. Make sure you wash your hands. Stay safe. Be a good person. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.